LA2M. Some very nice music. It's Tobin, right? Tobin, let's give Tobin a round of applause for playing some music. Today we're talking sensory marketing, so I'm hoping your senses are stimulated. Speaking of that, we always adjust the air conditioning during the program so that it stops the hum. So we try and freeze it down beforehand, so you probably come in and you freeze, but then we turn the AC off during the program, just so you know. I know it's quiet. Because, see, we have people watching from around the world on our live stream from Roger Rail. So hello, people around the world, welcome. This is Ann Arbor. We're about to talk about Briarwood Mall and sensory marketing. And my name is Derek Maribon, CEO of Genix Digital Marketing. I'm happy to be here. Thanks to all of you who braved the rain and came out. Pleased to see you all. And this is LA2M. We do meet every Wednesday. Is there anyone here for your very first LA2M? Any first timers? One? Okay, you gotta come up here and do the ceremonial dance. No, I'm just joking. No, there's no dance. Kidding. Okay, but welcome. We do meet every Wednesday, except we take off Christmas and Thanksgiving usually. And we take off holidays as they come, but we're here. We're here every week. We have brilliant speakers and it's interesting topics. And we do have a new $5 admission, which is new. And thank you for bearing that. We were a free organization for years. This is our 7th season, our 7th year. So we just had the admission charge because we used to pass the hat, but we were just kind of operating in the red. And as a nonprofit, we're a 501c3, we're a nonprofit, so we're an educational group that provides this programming and we have hard costs. So by you paying the $5, we greatly appreciate it because it helps fund us. So thank you for that. We also have sponsors. If you're a sponsor of LA2M, just so you know, our newsletter goes out to around 2,000 people in Southeast Michigan, and it's really done well at generating leads for people. I was a sponsor one month, I got some leads. I mean, people read these newsletters. We get a real high open rate. So we have monthly sponsors, we have longer term sponsors, and we're gonna, Jim, you wanna talk about sponsors real quick and introduce them?
I will. Hi everybody, I'm Jim Musial. Before I start, there's a really cool pair of sunglasses that were left up at the check-in. I don't know who needed their sunglasses today, but okay, Aaron, I'll bring them back to you when I come. Okay, so, like Derek was saying, we're an organization, we do have costs, we bring in wonderful speakers every week, and because of that, we've sought out sponsorships, and we've been very fortunate to have a few sponsors, and we're fortunate that a couple of them are here today. We have a gold sponsor for LA2M, and they are Washtenaw Community College, and they offer digital marketing certificates, and Nancy, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to let Nancy just say a few things. She's going to probably say some more at the end, and I know she'll stick around.
No, you didn't get the message. I'm just here from the beginning, yay, so you don't have to hear me talk that long. But I'm excited. Washtenaw Community College Workforce Development, based on some information we had gotten, because I have been coming to these meetings for a while, we have digital marketing certificates, alias e-marketing, and a new social media marketing certificate. They're pretty basic, but it helps people get attuned to the world of what social media channels are, what this hall is, and it's not merely just, oh, if I just have a business, I put a Facebook page up and people will come to my door, right? We all know better. So anyways, we have the certificate programs. I'm going to leave it at that. I dropped those around. There's much more things that we do through workforce development at WCC, but I'll be coming sporadically, or other of my colleagues will be coming to say hello. I'm going to keep it short, like me.
Thank you so much, and we're so appreciative and thankful to have a partner like Washtenaw Community College that supports LA2M. We'll have their literature out on the back table. We have a little sponsor table in the back. So in addition to what you have in front of you, each week we'll also have stuff in the back as well. We also have a monthly sponsor. This month's sponsor is Bud Gibson in the Search Marketing Workshop. And I'm going to ask Bud just to say a few words about that.
Yeah, I'd like to invite you to come out November 7th. It's our 4th annual Search Marketing Workshop. We're going to have 20 speakers who are going to introduce you to the ABCs of digital marketing, up through what you do once you've got things up and rolling and you're trying to figure out if it works or not. We've had tremendous turnout in the past 4 years that we've been doing this. This year we're going to have Mary Hennigy, the Director of Social Media and Digital Communications for General Motors, is going to talk to us about what it's like doing digital dialogue for a Fortune 500 company. And we're going to have Chad Weavesick as our closing keynote, And he's going to do a fireside chat. And basically, we are going to open up a good part of that session to audience questions. And in between, like I say, we're going to have 20 leaders from the local community in agencies and also in organizations who will be guiding you through the steps that you need to really succeed.
Thank you, Bud. Thank you again for being this month's sponsor. We do have open sponsorships. Bud's workshop is sponsoring for September and October. So we are looking for a November sponsor. So if you are interested, if your company would like to have the opportunity to stand up before every LA2M and say a little bit about your company, get some extra exposure, please see myself or Derek. There's also some cards on the back table that talk about sponsorship. So enjoy today's program.
Thank you, Jim. Great job. And thanks to our sponsors. I highly recommend the Search Marketing Workshop. Great event, good networking, good people there. So, anyways, all right. Without further ado, a couple things. We are live tweeting this event, so feel free to tweet along. Follow us at LA2M, and Allison's live tweeting back there. Hi, Allison. And what else? We have a Facebook group. You follow us there, Facebook page. We have a LinkedIn group. Join our LinkedIn group. And stay in touch. We also have meetup.com. You heard of Meetup? Some of you probably heard of us from Meetup, but it's a great way to kind of stay in touch, and they email you event reminders. So join the meetup.com for LA2M to stay in touch and make sure you're not going to miss one of our events. All right. So without further ado, today's speaker is Denise Murray. Sorry, I was thinking, I know another Denise Roberts. Denise Murray, from Simon Properties from Briarwood Mall, which we all love Briarwood Mall. And she's done some amazing things there. I don't know if you've been there lately, but they have some really cool things. And she's going to be talking about sensory marketing, which is why we had this wonderful musician, and there's some other treats coming up. So let's give Denise a big round of applause and welcome her to LA2M.
Thank you. And first I want to say, I know Nancy's already gone, but I really do recommend people take those classes. We've had to learn social media on our own for the last 7 years, and it's certainly easier when someone hands you the tools and you know right up front what to do, what not to do. So if anybody's interested in pursuing that, I would recommend a good class. But we're here to talk about sensory marketing. And Tobin Kassam, who's actually a local actor. I know him most from the Meadowbrook performance. Help me here. Christmas Carol. And he does amazing things, all over town. And he had a little downtime. He helped us launch a program that we're doing with Pandora at the mall. We have a stage that we built in Center Court, and he was working on our Acoustic Tuesdays with us. And the interesting thing about the performances that he did, and we started jazz on Friday nights, and now we have American Songbook on Saturday afternoons, and a whole host of different music programs that have been branching out from interested local artists, so it's been pretty exciting. But the interesting thing about doing the performances, like we talk about the social media aspect, our businesses, I've pursued social media for a very long time. This year started to really kind of fall a little flat. Starting June 1st, we started our music program. My social media has skyrocketed. And literally adding 100 likes per day to our social media. So we're now capping about 21,000 followers at this point. We were around 14 or 15,000 when we started in June. So that to me is very exciting. And that's what sensory, compounding the senses can do, I think, for your marketing efforts. And so we're going to talk a little bit about different ways that people tie in different senses to compound your marketing efforts. So, did you want to have a seat, or are we going to?
I'm sorry?
Did you want to have a seat?
I don't care unless you want me to.
You're good.
Okay. It's comfy.
So the first thing I want to bring up is, everyone has different crayons in their crayon box, so to speak. The mall that I came from, I was over at Northland Mall. I had certain things that I had to work with, and you create a whole lot of something out of nothing, and it's pretty exciting. When I came over to Briarwood Mall, I was like, oh my God, look at all the new crayons I get to play with. It's pretty exciting when you see the different things you get to work with and sources that you have. So a lot of what you're going to hear today is talking about the mall and the mall environment and how we do advertising through the mall. You guys all have your own set of crayons, and you'll figure out how to bring those senses in through that as well. So when you look at advertising or marketing, you know, it can be very one-dimensional. You're looking at visual, maybe you do billboards. You can do radio tied in with billboards. We know that that obviously has a good compound effect. The more that you can tap into the different senses, the more effective and more memorable your marketing becomes. And when you bring in the senses that you have, you're going to see me quote a lot. Martin Lindstrom did a whole book on sensory marketing. And you know, basically when you can get hit in on the emotions, you're going to be able to hit, if you hit the senses, you hit into the emotions. And that's what makes people remember your message and your brand. So if you're working on site, you know, there's a lot of billboards. I'll just look here. U of M Athletics has been working with Briarwood Mall for about 6 years. We've started the program very, very small. Every year we've grown a little bit bigger. It gets quite exciting around the mall, especially in this community, to see their brand, their favorite school plastered everywhere. We have the entrances, we have sky banners, we do events, we do a whole host of things that tie in together. Their objective is to promote the different sports. Obviously, football is their mainstay, but they have 22 different sports that they want to pull in. And so, we're able to adapt a lot of different sports into a very common theme and do it in such a way that it's noticeable because it's so everywhere. And it's a very fun program. In fact, we've had a lot of tie-ins that we've had. Volkswagen, Cumulus Radio, Adidas has done their own tie-ins with the athletic department. So it just helps to extend the brand, and everybody who associates with that brand that everybody loves benefits from it. So, tying in with the visual, Santa used to always wear green, and in 1931, Coca-Cola started promoting with Santa, and now in malls across America, Santa wears the Coca-Cola red. And it's just kind of interesting that it's like we make that association, it's subliminal, but I don't think we'll ever get away with bringing in a green Santa into our shopping center. And we have Coca-Cola to thank for that. We did a run, which I think Derek was saying he actually participated in. I ran the run, I hope you guys did. It was a lot of fun. Our first year bringing the event to the mall, we had 2,500 runners. And I'm pretty certain that if it wasn't a color run, the big splash, fun, exciting activity, we probably would have had a few hundred people turn out for it. So just adding that little element of color, of fun, sensory, has made that event very successful for the first year, and they have every intention of bringing it back for many years to come. So Kellogg's, obviously a brand we all love and know, when they started researching what is the perfect crunch, and having labs in Germany, figuring out this is the crunch that we want, and that's what all of our cereals are going to sound like. And people know now, they can do blind taste tests, and they know which cereal they're eating based on that crunch. And their sales have skyrocketed just by implementing the sound of their cereal into their brand. And we talked a little bit about the sound. Now our example here, of course, is our Pandora stage. We talked about the social media and the wow factor, people coming through the mall, hearing these amazing sounds, these professional jazz musicians, professional performers who have come out to entertain unexpectedly. Our intention for the music, of course, is not to stop people from shopping, but if they're there and they're walking by and they hear a jazz musician performing, they stop, they notice, they acknowledge, they get excited. Children come over, they start dancing. It's just, even if it's just for that moment, and then they keep going about their business, they're going to remember the mall, and they'll remember it in a very favorable fashion. And they remember Pandora, because they're the brand behind the sound. So this is our stage now in center court. So when you hear a performance, you're constantly going to be seeing that Pandora. And what's interesting also with this is, the owner of our Pandora store here owns the store in Toledo. And they've been in our mall for a few years. We're fortunate to have the largest Pandora store in the country. But Toledo's always beat us out. And they're in a pretty big market, over 1.5 million people. But he always expected Ann Arbor to have better sales. The stage started in June. We finally we've exceeded Toledo sales. So I'm not one for coincidences. I truly believe that what we're doing here does work. So we're talking about the sense of smell. And Mitsubishi started publishing ads in which they actually put the new car smell in with the ad, and their sales skyrocketed 18%, I believe, 16%, and that was during a recession. They sold out of those vehicles, and it was just bringing in that sense of smell into their advertising that they were already doing. So most of you know Mrs. Fields, and Mrs. Fields has been in the mall for a very long time. They had an inline store in the location where Brighton Collectibles is now. And they moved into Center Court to have a kiosk where that little half circle is located. When they moved into that location, the ceiling is 34 feet high. There's no smell. The cookie smell, whatever it was, went straight up into the ceiling, and they lost that effect. Their sales actually took a huge drop. We relocated them in front of Coach, where they have the lower ceiling, and made a few adjustments with their oven, and their sales returned to the levels that they expected them to be. So again, that sense of smell is very, very important for their business. And I love this. Pedigree had little stickers placed in front of stores, pet shops and that sort of thing. And the people walking by, they couldn't detect any scent, but the dogs would go ballistic when they come up to these little stickers on the ground. And the people would look up and there's pedigree in the window. And so they start making that association that the dogs want the pedigree. And very, very effective advertising. Nivea did a promotion in the movie theaters in which they ran ads in different theaters, and in certain theaters they actually put the scent of their lotions in that were funneled in through the air vents when their ads ran. And the recall was over 500% for the people who had the scent versus the ones that didn't have the scent pumped into the theater. So the sense of touch. And you can look at a car. We have sky banners in the mall. I have a great association with a lot of dealerships in town. We do the sky banners, we do the vehicle displays. You see the men drooling over the Charger, or they might, all over the Lexus or Infiniti and the different vehicles that we have there. But when we do the test drives, when people can come in and they can sit in the car, they can smell, they can touch the different features within the car, their sales and their ability to sell that vehicle goes up exponentially. Glass or plastic, just again that sense of touch. And people prefer Heinz in a glass bottle. And it was really interesting. They went into pretty good detail about this study, and that it's very difficult to get ketchup out of a glass bottle, but people would still prefer to use a glass bottle. And the fact that they have to wait actually makes them perceive that this is a better product. And they never ever said that they had a better product in all their years of advertising, but they did say anticipation, and people just perceive and believe that it's a better product. So this next slide is I don't know, did we get the chimney cakes up?
Yeah.
Okay. So we weren't sure we were going to be able to sample those to you today.
None of us know what you're even saying right now.
All right, I won't even go there. This is great.
Sensory overload right now.
Sensory overload, this is good. Chimney Cakes is a brand new restaurant that we have in our mall. It's located over by California Pizza Kitchen. And they have this product called Chimney Cakes. And, you know, I can show you a photo of them, and they look lovely. Don't know what they are. I can tell you how they are just fresh baked and fabulous. And you can hear it and you'd be like, yeah, right? But now you smell it, you taste it. Chances are you're going to remember it, and tomorrow you're going to be telling people, oh my God, I tried these things called Chimney Cakes yesterday. If you're at the mall, you got to try them. And, you know, tasting is believing, smelling, you know, smelling is remembering. That's your strongest memory sense. So, I threw this in. It's not pretty, but this is a blow-up colon that we did with University of Michigan Health System. And, you know, it's extremely effective. This actually tours all over the country. And, you know, having the American Cancer Society and the University of Michigan bring this out, have doctors on site, be able to talk with people, it brings a lot of awareness very quickly. Great, you know, media awareness, press, you know, there was a lot of press coverage on the event. They get a lot of screenings out of it. It's just a one-day event, few hours, and there's a lot of wow. And it's so funny because these little children walk through this thing and they're bouncing off the walls and they think it's so much fun. And I'm like, I have nightmares someday when they realize what they were doing. So, but it's fun and it is impactful. We have Keith Hafner Karate, who's been with us for quite a few years at the mall. And he has a standee, a little character of himself. You can kind of see it over there. I'm sorry I didn't get a better image of it. But he has a cartoon character with Keith Hafner. And that's on mall all the time. And, you know, it's pretty effective as far as getting awareness. He's got the flyers. But once a month, without fail, they're in the mall with their mascot, Leonard. And kids love the lion. They want to hug him. They want to talk to him. They pass out stuff to the parents. They just get that chance to engage. So it's not just an ad. Now they're making a connection. And, you know, Ian Hafner, who, you know, was willing to provide this information for me and feedback, said that basically it's not about selling at that point. It's just that chance to make that connection. And it's just something that we're capable of doing within the shopping center that you may or may not be able to do in very many other places. So there's fish and chips, and then there's fish and chips at Conroe Meals. So if you're gonna have really good fish and chips, and it's gonna smell good, it's gonna taste good, if you don't create this amazing kind of environment, you know, people are not likely gonna return because they're not gonna remember you. The more that you can engage on those senses, the more effective it's gonna be for you. Sometimes you wanna turn down the senses. We do a nice event twice a year. We have Caring Santa and Caring Bunny, in which we open up the mall before the mall opens. That didn't make sense. We provide access to the mall before the mall opens for children who, you know, have autism and various other situations in which they can't necessarily visit with Santa during regular mall hours. It's very difficult to have an autistic child stand in line and wait a half hour and not be overloaded by music and lights and people and so much stimuli happening. So we actually turn the lights off in the mall, we turn off the music, we turn off the flash, we downplay all the sensories within the Santa set and the Easter set in order to provide an environment for parents and children to come out and visit with Santa. There's no line, they get numbers, they sit, they commune, they, you know, interact with some activities that we provide for them. But I think it's important, you know, to think about the senses and applying it obviously to your customer and what would be most applicable. It's very, very well received, very low key, but very important as well. And then there's turning up the sound, the lights, the music, the fashion, and bringing the audience into the show. I was fortunate this year to be able to bring out our Teen Vogue tour into our shopping center, went to about 15 malls across the country, and we brought IM5, which is a Disney boy band that's kind of up and coming, and they did a performance and drew an audience from quite a distance. We had fashion shows, and they had TV screens displaying, and they had, you know, spokespeople and MCs and games, and just kind of this ongoing 4-hour event happening in the mall. And it was quite entertaining. You can get away with it maybe once or twice a year. It's a great opportunity to draw people into the shopping center, to showcase a lot of great things in one place, to give people like Coca-Cola and St. Ives a great opportunity to associate their brand with a great event. And it was a lot of fun. So that's one example of kind of how overboard you can go with the sensory marketing. And I did want to end with a thought, which I put together this morning. And the fact that the senses, you know, because our senses are so linked to our emotions, when you apply them correctly, it has a long-lasting impact. Building a brand takes time. Adding brands through methods that hit on all these senses not only impacts the advertiser or retailer, but becomes a reciprocal reflection on the mall. So when we talk about, you know, Pandora sponsored a stage, and we brought in these entertainers, and it's a great reflection on Pandora, and it's a great opportunity for musicians. It also becomes a great reflection on the mall. So in trying to do something great for Pandora, it did something great for the mall. And you know, there's a whole host of examples of things we were able to do for other people that should serve the community and present the brand well, that again becomes a true reflection on the mall. We've made a few mistakes along the way. I've been there for 7.5 years. I know the bad, I know the good. You know, I'm not going to say that we didn't try some things that probably shouldn't have happened, but we've learned a lot. We share a lot of resources across the country for what works and how to, you know, hone things in and make it appropriate. And you know, it's definitely a pleasure to serve the Ann Arbor community. You know, we brought in artists into the mall this past week called Artisan Market. 60 different artists, local Michigan artists who are in our mall now, which is just quite amazing. Did some promotion, you know, on Facebook, along with all these other promotions of look at the live artists, look at the different things that we're doing here. And actually, I wanted to quote this from Priscilla Horn, who's a Facebook follower. She says, Briarwood Mall is just getting so hip. So it's pretty cool, you know, to be able to hit on the senses. You know, we did the renovation. We're looking out for our customers, our advertisers, our mall, and doing it in such a way that's entertaining and memorable for our customers.
So we do have a few minutes for questions. Does anyone have a question for Denise? I'll bring the mic over.
Could you tell us about the things that didn't work, that you learned from?
Yes. So one of the things I can say that didn't work, when we did the IM5 tour, they also sent out a band called House on Cliff. Now, I grew up in Detroit. I like a good rock band like most people do. But rock and roll does not belong in a shopping center. It's extremely loud. You can't have good rock without it being loud. And I tried to convince our corporate, like, this is not what we want to do, you know. If it was outside, I think it would be fabulous, you know. There's a time and a place for everything. They sent them anyway. And it was right in front of Kay Jewelers, and they did a sound check, and the regional was in town, and he just came after me. You know, he's like, what are you doing? You know, not a good thing to do. And I really wish I could have been a little more, you know, influential to say, let's just not do rock and roll in the middle of the shopping center. You know, not every customer wants to hear Led Zeppelin, which they did perform. And so yeah, that would be one good example of a mistake. And you know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20-minute mistake, but you know, if it drove a few customers away, I did a huge disservice to my merchants who I serve. So.
Have you ever done any promotions with like Coach Purse or anything with the purse companies that's been successful? And if not, maybe fashion that relates to it.
Well, you know, we do a lot of events like our Mom's Night Out, which is one of our most popular events, geared specifically for women that we have done year after year. Every Thursday night before Mother's Day, we have this event. It's intended for women to be able to come out and enjoy themselves where they're not taking care of their mom or someone else's mom in the process of trying to enjoy their Mother's Day. So we bring out merchants who just want to engage. We do prizes, we do Melting Pot will come out and they do their chocolate drop station, and you know, a whole host of things that we do that's just to entertain and engage women so that they can have a night off. And you know, we're not selling to them. There's nobody selling product on those tables. It's just about, you know, having an opportunity to reach out to that customer.
When did you do that?
That's our Mom's Night Out, and it's the Thursday night before Mother's Day every year.
Can you speak to the demographics of who goes to shopping malls? Are you catering to an older shopper rather than an 18 to 34-year-old? Has that changed with the way the internet lets people buy online?
Our current objective is to reach out to the millennials. And the millennials, I kind of love this demographic, which is truly, it's the 18 to 34-year-old. However, what's great about them is they appreciate live music. They like the artists. They like not being sold to. They like that experience. So you'll notice everything that we're doing is very experience-based. You know, we want to provide free Wi-Fi. We want to have charging stations and quaint little seating areas and soft seating and a lot of different options for people. And that's all very focused on how do we reach out to that millennial. So, and that's Simon's focus across the country. Ann Arbor, you know, it works here. You know, I think that personally, I think it's a little more fun. I think you guys are always kind of ahead of the pace anyway. You know, our Apple store does extremely well. You know, we have male shoppers because of it. No offense, but you guys pretty much like the Apple store. And I'm trying to get more men's stores because I'm like, okay, they're here, now what do we do with them? You know, but having things like charging stations, because you guys all have laptops and phones and different things, that's really important to people. So we're the first mall in Michigan to offer these charging stations. And it was one of those things that probably 5-6 years ago, I'm like, we have people plugging into our floors and we have trip hazards everywhere, and it just drove me crazy. You know, I dream trip hazard. So, you know, I don't want that to happen. Let's do something about this. Let's come up with something that people can plug into. And we have the charging stations. So we're fortunate to be renovated, and that was built into the program. It was so successful. We're deploying them all over the country, and you know, I'm just very proud of, you know, the fact that we can see a need, see a problem, figure out how to address it, and again, the customers seem to really enjoy the fact that we try to stay in tune with that. Does that help answer your question?
Yeah, it's great.
First of all, Denise, I've got a couple comments. First of all, thanks for being our speaker for the rest of the year and bringing something from each of us. We appreciate that greatly. But thank you for the sensory dessert. Couple things in regards to the mall. How does the demographics or maybe the culture around the neighborhood affect your marketing employees? Such as, you talked a little bit about music, and maybe you came from Northland to Ann Arbor, two different cultures. And obviously Ann Arbor is a huge melting pot of cultures. How does that influence your marketing and the things you do in the mall?
Well, yeah, in my observance and my trying to learn as much about Ann Arbor as I can, you know, I know that there's a huge appreciation for music in this town. The LA2M program, actually, that was a program that I started with Maxine Michaels out at Northland. We did a jazz series for H&R Block called the H&R Jazz Block. And I was like, Maxine, we got to get these jazz musicians over to Ann Arbor. They're going to love them. And we kind of went back and forth, and I had to get funding, and had to find a sponsor. I had all this stuff. It doesn't just happen. We worked really hard to be able to find the right place in the mall to make it happen, the right sponsor to make it happen, and commit to it. And I have to say, it's a lot of time, on my part, to be able to manage all of these musicians coming through, make sure they're promoted on social media and all the different places that they are. But I think it's one of the most significant things that I can possibly do. We can do a one-day event with ABCs of Style, which 520 people might show up to and participate and really enjoy, and it's truly over the top, tons of money spent on that. For the same amount of money I did for a one-day event, I've got an entire year of programming that everybody is going to have a chance to enjoy at some point or another when they come to the shopping center.
And then the follow-up question to that is mall walkers. What are they all about?
Mall walkers. They work for me. I just want you to know. Because if there's something wrong in the mall, they know to come to me, and I take care of it for them.
I'm over every time I'm in the mall by a mall walker.
I can't possibly have the eyes and ears that they have. They will see something out of place, and they're there for me. And I actually defend them quite a bit. We worked really hard to find them the right place. When we renovated, it was a big challenge because they used to be in Von Mar, and we kind of changed some things around there. We put the player over there. Macy's worked really well because it's very close to the restrooms. But it turned out that's great for them. They want to be close to restrooms. They're in the Macy's corridor, so that was a true plus. But they're truly gems. We have, Ann Arbor is known as being one of the most healthy communities in the country. And when you see these mall walkers and these exercise people, because we have the U-Move program with University of Michigan, kinesiology department, who has been doing this program for about 27, 28 years. Peter has been running it for, I think, 22 years. And they come out and Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they're there, about 100 people exercising in the middle of the shopping center. I think it's pretty fabulous.
Hey there, Internet. Sorry.
So I have a question. Actually, Susan, you go first.
Oh, thank you.
There you go.
Has that space in Sears been filled, that horrible empty Land's End space? When I was there a month or so ago, the head store was half empty.
So Land's End has actually subcontracted with Sears. I believe that's how it happens. So they have kind of their own space. We used to have the biggest Land's End in the entire region. And so they still have a presence, and then they were able to bring in a lot of different products and reposition things. And I'm hearing some very positive because people walk through the store and things have changed, and so they're starting to buy things because they weren't used to seeing it because everything was all Land's End. So they do still have a presence, just not to the capacity that they did.
I actually have a question about that because Sephora opened up in JCPenney's, but there's also Sephora outside. How does that work?
So, I'm going to kind of go back to Pandora, because it's an interesting perspective. When Pandora opened up, and like I said, we have the largest Pandora store in the country, and Von Mar decided to start carrying the product, I thought, oh my gosh, Bill's going to have a fit. What's he going to do when he finds out? And I tell him, and he's so excited. I said, why are you excited about this? He goes, because they don't have the variety that we have, but people are being exposed to the brand, so it kind of helps them, build up the presence. Von Mar is not a bad thing to be affiliated with, but if people like it but want a different variety, they end up coming over to the store. So it's not hurt them. So with Sephora, you have the Sephora stores. If the JCPenney Sephora doesn't train them as well or doesn't have the product or the knowledge that our inline stores have, it'll just help drive more traffic to the store.
Awesome. So one more question. When I come to the mall, let's say I'm in the middle of a busy day and I have to go to the mall to get something, how do you use sensory marketing to get me in the mood to shop when I come in there? Is there things happening that are helping me want to shop?
Doing this whole study on sensory marketing, I keep going to the mall manager going, I really think Simon needs its own scent. When people walk into the mall, it should be like, I smell Simon, like I want to shop, I want to be invigorated, maybe a little citrus or something, I think it'd be fabulous, So basically when you come in, the shopping center should be clean, it should be you shouldn't be hit with things that are going to stop you from shopping. You know, we were really bad about overloading the shopping center back in 2009, 2008, 2007, maybe a little bit. You know, there was way too much. And so for you to get from point A to point B without somebody approaching you or doing things, I think it was very, very irritating. So we've really cracked down and we've cut back and we've got rid of stuff that wasn't well suited for the mall, brought things in that I think are better suited. Air Plants is beautiful, but again, the art in the market is fabulous. When you walk through and you hear live performances, I think that's pretty substantial. It makes the mall come to life. It makes it enjoyable. You want to hang out, you know. We'll have valet parking in the fall. And, you know, so different things that are just going to make it a little more elevated. We've renovated, we improved the lighting. We went all LED. It was a very expensive endeavor. But I think that you have better lighting, more even throughout the entire shopping center. So things that you shouldn't notice are things that we're doing to improve. You know, when you're noticing things, you're not focused on what you really want to be focused on, which should be the storefronts. And like the architect who designed all the lighting through the mall, when she talked about how she was going to design the lights so that you don't notice the fixtures, you notice the storefronts. And I just went, that's it. That's what we need in this mall. And because you could have people with big egos that are like, I want everyone to notice my light fixtures. Look what great light fixtures I have. That's not what we want. We're not here shopping light fixtures. We should be looking at the storefronts again. Yes.
You talked about the drop in men's retail. That men were only going to the Apple store, as you put it, and I remarked to my student over here, I said, well, that's actually kind of true, except when I'm buying something for my wife.
Nice.
So, and the occasional underwear.
And wow, Victoria's Secret happens to be right across from Apple, so
there we are.
Some association going on here.
And so my question is, why do you think there's been that dearth of men coming to the mall?
Men like to, they know what they want to get in, get out, and be gone. The exception now, of course, Apple's like your big playground. So it's very fun to go in there and try all the new products. I want to get one of the new watches. Have you seen them? They're pretty cool. You know, I think we're a little bit on overkill for the women. You know, we have a finite amount of space to provide, you know, for everybody and everything. I think we need a little bit more men's departments. And what would you like to see at the mall?
Well, you know, I like a men's shoe store. It is a disaster. You can only really get what you want shopping in other cities. And there used to be men's shoe stores, but I have a feeling that
Johnson Murphy?
yes, as an example, but it used to be easier even going to Mass Shoes, which is not your place. It used to be easier. Now it's all women focused, so don't know what to say about
Do you
that.
shop at Bonmar? They have
I have on occasion.
Yeah. I'm working on that. I do bring that up to my leasing agent.
And it sounds like, and I'm really happy to hear you got rid of the skin supply people that try and touch your skin and then put things on you. And Miss, can I talk to you for a minute? Miss, can I just talk to you for a minute? Can you get rid of those people? Yes, yeah, should be done. Did you ever complain about that? Because I didn't, but.
You didn't complain.
I didn't complain.
I welcome the complaints, guys. I take the complaints. You guys complain online, I get the complaint. You guys call, my guest services staff is here. We get the complaints. We're really, really cracking down on that. We know it is a negative effect. We work really hard. We invest millions of dollars for you guys to have a nice experience in the mall. We do not want you to walk away with the only memory is this guy went and hawked me and chased me all the way down the hallway. Okay, so my recommendation, please, and this is on tape, so be very careful I say this. If this ever happens to you, know that there are rules. They must be 1 arm's length from their kiosk. If they are farther than that, kindly ask them their name. Smile at them. Walk down to guest services, fill out a card, let us know the name, the offense, all the information you can give us. So we can't do something if you just walk up and say, just get rid of all the carts in the mall. Because I assure you, we are bringing in really good carts and you're going to enjoy them. We have a gentleman who's opening up a cart tomorrow. It's all olive oil, and it's fabulous. It's straight out of Greece, and his family's done this for generations, and he's going to be in my mall. I don't want you guys to miss out on that because you guys don't want carts because we have somebody who offended you, 2 years ago, and you're just not going to come back into the mall. We have Air Plant Lady. I don't know. What is her name? I'm so sorry.
Random oddities.
Random oddities. These beautiful glass globes with air plants and little arrangements inside them that can hang in windows. They're just absolutely stunning. And I'm like, that fits our mall. We have a new pet supply gentleman. It's all like kind of upscale, chic pet accessories. Very fun. Yeah, these are things that I think would be enjoyed. And I told our short-term leasing person, I said, you really should just take all those artists and just make nothing but artists throughout the mall, and nobody would complain about the cart people again. So, I mean, it sounds funny, but then we brought in Artisan Market, sorry, and people responded immediately on social media how fabulous they think that it is. All the artists are sharing with other artists, you gotta be here, and how much they enjoy the store, huge social media spike, and again, that's the response was, Briarwood is getting so cool. How awesome is that? And so we want to bring in the right things and do it in such, the right way. And there is a way to do that.
Okay. Well, good job. Let's give Denise Murray a big round of applause. Thank you for the wonderful treats. Those chimney cakes are actually really good.
Please take some home because these cannot come back into my office.
Yeah. All right. So now we get to go around the room and you get to introduce yourself and just who you are, what you do, and in 20 words or less, and then you pass the mic to your friend, and we get all the way around the room by 1 o'clock, so we can go out and hopefully the rain won't stop. And we're going to start up front with my friend Dunry, who I haven't seen in a while, but I'll let you introduce yourself. And please, I'm serious, please stand up.
I'm Dunry Breiling. I am a writer and a marketing consultant.
Hi, I'm Mary Lou Olds. I'm LA2M manager, and if you have any recommendations for speakers, we still have some openings for this season, so I'd love to hear from you on your marketing ideas. And also, I'm a freelance writer for websites, newsletters, blogs, social media, and if you have need of those services, please let me know.
Susan Harris, I just want to say that was a lot of fun. Thank you, Denise. She's absorbed.
Yeah, I'm Roger Rail. I help with several networking groups, do a lot of live streaming, recording of video, and our Ann Arbor Video Interest Group September meeting is tonight at Carlisle's Grill out on Jackson Road at 6:30. Go to a2vig.org to RSVP if you can.
Hi, I'm Bob Shannon. I'm a local CPA and I specialize in helping high-tech startups as well as growing entrepreneurial firms with their accounting, tax, business consulting, and business analytics. My website is accountant-michigan.com.
Hello, my name is Kaylin Eldridge. I'm a marketing professional here in Ann Arbor, working specifically with biotech companies.
Hi everyone, I'm Jordan Bruce. I'm a business student at Eastern Michigan University, majoring in marketing, intern with Derek at Ingenix as well.
Andrea Kelly, I'm the project manager with Derek's company Ingenix.
I'm Allison Moore. I'm a marketing strategist with Derek at Ingenix, and I was running some of the live tweeting today, so tweet at us.
I'm Krista Quinn. I'm the marketing director for Motawi Tileworks. We just have a new space open within the Ann Arbor Arts Center, and that's at 117 West Liberty, right around the corner. And we have a big party tonight. Some of you may have already heard about it, but I also have some flyers for you. It's free. It's 5:30 to 8:30. Mezzavino, Vin Bar, and the Beer Grot are going to be providing our food and beverage for tonight. And it's just a fun way to bring the great tiles of Motawi into downtown Ann Arbor.
Hi, my name is Liz Topping. I'm with Adams Outdoor. I actually did the billboards for Denise. So if you need a billboard, I am your girl.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Symington. I'm with Maniacs Braining. We specialize in brain identity. We also offer brain consultation and rebraining services. If anybody else is interested in learning some more, just let me know. Thank you.
I'm Trisha, and I'm from Steve's Custom Signs. We're a local company in Ann Arbor. We design apparel, promotional materials, printing materials, anything that you can think of to do it. If you have any questions,
I'm Dan Lee. I'm working as an intern at Injects up there.
My name is Aaron Carter. I translate technology concepts into engineering.
Hello, I'm Robin Kohler, and I actually know Denise from my time at Macy's. I was store manager there and since retired a couple years ago. I'm now working with the Center for Southeast Michigan, and I'm the chair of that event and function.
Hi everybody, I'm Stacy from Dollarville, the local retail shop. Thank you, Denise, and also I have an 18-year-old daughter who please join me. I hate that Molly. I'm going Briarwood. I'm going Briarwood. So you did a great job.
I am on botany. I do large scale
Hi, my name is David Joe. I'm guest services manager at Briarwood Mall. And for Susan, our guest services rep found out that Macy's has a small selection of down coats. They have more to come. Thank you. I'm Jennifer Stites. I also work at Briarwood Mall where I'm the marketing manager.
My name is David Coleman. I work for the brands and retailers against discount process.
Hello, my name is Susana Castro, and I'm a graphic designer. I work with companies and businesses and create outstanding marketing materials.
I'm Bud Gibson. I created the search marketing program at Eastern Michigan University. Our students can help you figure out how to get value out of your digital marketing efforts, what to do, how to measure it, how to improve. So talk to me if you're looking for people.
I'm Drew Marco. I'm an MBA student studying marketing at Eastern, and I'm also a student worker at the club.
I'm Zach Palmer. I'm a freshman at University of Michigan Dearborn, majoring in communication studies, and I'm working for Roush as a test driver / vehicle evaluator.
Hi, I'm Fred Sherline from Rockman Studios. I'm a commercial editorial and portrait photographer. For everything except for one. Shots I did recently as well as this Facebook page, and after that we did last week. So I think I was becoming a drone pilot this week. Friday I was shooting big college high school cross country week, fearful of crashing into the roads. Having Michigan women in the country. We were on last fall.
Thank you, Carter. And my name is Derek Marabon. I guess most of you know me, but I run an agency called Ingenix Digital Marketing, focused on lead generation, inbound marketing. And I enjoyed the talk today. It was very, very stimulating. I think there was some good information in there, and I think that even if you're not marketing a mall, I think that sensory marketing plays an important role in what you're doing. And even the most basic part of that is how you present yourself on, sales calls and whatnot. I say that I don't know if you're wearing shorts in San Diego. We're in Ann Arbor, and this is me. So, but I think it's important. So sensory marketing is, not that you taste people on, sales pitches, but you shake hands. I always say that your handshake is the one chance you really do get to touch someone. So make it worth your while. But anyways, Love to talk. Let's give Denise one more round of applause. Thank you, Denise. Mary, you help me out. Who's next week? Ryan Bauer from Wentworth. Okay.
Yeah, very lucky about trade.
Okay, yeah, the LA2M app is down. We gotta talk to Lena about that. The LA2M app isn't working right now, but so next week is Ryan Bowers from McGraw-Wentworth, which she's the marketing manager at some big company, and she's gonna be talking about something important. Trade shows? Trade shows. She's gonna be talking about trade shows. So we all need a trade show. We all need to learn to sell trade shows. So come next week, God willing, it won't be raining, and bring your friends, and we'll see you all next time. Thanks for coming. See you.
They have a small collection, so they do have more.
Business card.